Okay, hello, welcome to the weather update. It's a little after 9 p.m. on November 12th, 2019. It feels more like it's January out there. This is the cold front that passed through this morning. We had a little light rain and a little snow. Believe it or not, a little snow flurries. Nothing heavy, just a little flurries here in Nassau County. First flurries of the season, though. And you can see here this front is clearing the area now. So we're going to look at the radar. We're going to look at the Ventu sky and actually look at the radar from earlier. So I'm going to take this back to like 11 o'clock. And we'll see if I don't know if this shows up the snow. I don't think this does precip type, but you'll see what wound up happening. There was some Suffolk County got into some more maybe light snow, but I don't think there were really any accumulations beyond dusting. Maybe out east, not that much. But here in Nassau County, we didn't really see much of anything from that. Just had light rain. The front was very slow moving, and then it finally moved offshore. So looking at the hazards here, look at this. Looks like freeze warnings going down all the way into the south from this cold air mass, which is pretty nuts. So if we look at the observations here, let's put the observations here on the list here, surface observations. We'll be able to show you some actual observations. Look at this. 27 in Birmingham, 35 in all the way down to the Florida Panhandle, 48. So the cold air goes all the way down here, It's nuts, and you have temperatures in the single digits up around Chicago. So this air is coming straight from the North Pole, and so let's take a closer look at what's going on in our area, because the temperatures surely have dropped, and we have these winds that are still gusting. So there's a pretty wicked wind chill out there. Yeah, we're down to the 20s now, 28 degrees. We're down to the 20s. So if they're starting off in the 50s this morning, we dropped through the 30s. Now we're going into the 20s. So that's pretty nuts. So right now at Central Park, we have 28 degrees. And let's take a look at some observations here. So 28 degrees, 29 at Farmingdale, north wind at 14, gusting 25, which makes it feel like it's 18 degrees. And look at that dew point. It's down to 1 degree. So this is also very dry air. It's from the North Pole. Similar observations across Long Island here. 29, fair skies at West Hampton, and northwest wind at 18, gusting to 26, the wind chill at 17. And we'll go ahead and look at New Jersey, which is just as cold, probably, if not colder. Let's take a look and see what they have in Toms River. 28 degrees, northwest wind at 10, a 14-degree dew point, and a wind chill at 19. So maybe slightly a little less on the wind chill, but I'm telling you, it's nuts out there. It's nuts how it's dropped. And particularly in Toms River, we can actually show you the extreme. So after being in the upper 50s this morning, it dropped through the 30s. They had a little light snow. Not enough to accumulate on anything. Not a whole lot of precip either. It was, like I said, it was a fairly dry front, but because of the cold air and a little bit of moisture at the end, we had tail end with some snow. So it's a satellite image again. You can see clear air moving in. And so we got this big high that's just right from the North Pole, this air mass coming right down into the area. Kind of unusual to see this in November. When you have very unusual jet stream patterns, you can also get really unusually cold air outbreaks. And if we go and we look at the Weather Service's website, actually it should list all the records tonight, because we're going to break most of them. Let's see if they have Twitter. Let's see if they have tweets. All right, let's see. They don't have it on the Twitter. Yeah, here we go. So if we look at this record low temperatures here, you will see here Central Park's record low is 26, Newark is 28, JFK's is 29, LaGuardia is 32, Islip is 25, and Bridgeport's 28. I think these are all getting broken. So they are all getting broken. We're going to break all these records tonight. Very unusual. So getting back to the models, we got this big high moving in, and it's going to move in, but then it's going to pass offshore on Thursday. And then we get a return flow. So temperatures quickly recover on Thursday into the 40s, which is still below normal, but not as cold as it is now, after only being in the 30s tomorrow. And then we've got to watch this coastal system here. Will it stay offshore? Will it not? It looks like right now GFS seems to say it stays to the south. But look at this thing. It really deepens very rapidly. So we have this strong high over us, which should protect us. But this thing is deepening. And, it wouldn't even surprise me if it got some tropical characteristics. You got to remember the water's still warm here. I know we're in November here, but, it's definitely unusual. We're going to look at some of this stuff on windy.com and show you also. So you could see that low passing to the south, and then a little piece of it might get us early next week. Okay, so let's take a closer look. So when you look at the jet stream pattern, you'll see here we have this huge trough. Get this to load here. Let's back it up. So here you go, this huge trough that just dug itself down. Just you look at this, it goes all the way down here, So it's a huge, broad trough, the kind of trough that gets. These are the kind of troughs you need if you want to get some really cold weather. Looking at the jet stream, you can see here that we still have some troughiness, but you still see a lot of waviness, and it's another big trough right there, which could energize this storm over here that we'll have to watch for next week. And again, you're still seeing these crazy ridges and troughs as this jet stream kind of goes bonkers here. So let's get a closer look at our region here and take a closer look at what this all means as far as the temperatures go. So let's take a look at that. So you see what happened today. Boom, it got cold. And tonight it's getting really cold. So we're going into the 20s tonight, low 20s, probably beating most of the records. 20 to 25 the low. In north and west of the city, you're going to be in the teens. Yes, teens. And then for tomorrow, we're going to struggle to reach the mid-30s, especially Long Island. Maybe a little warmer in Jersey, but we're going to struggle to reach the mid-30s. It's going to feel like it's the middle of January tomorrow. All right, that's the way it's going to feel. And then into Thursday, you see we moderate. Now we're into the low 40s, right? And we moderate some more on Friday. Now we're in the upper 40s to around 50 degrees. But then another cold front comes through with that high building down that should suppress that low. And you can see we're back into the mid-30s again on Saturday. And Sunday, we're still in the 30s. You can see that low there, right there. You can clearly see the warm air mass associated with it, which we will have to watch. All right, but it keeps us in the cold air pretty much and below normal right through next week. And then maybe we get a little closer to average, maybe toward next week. I think a normal high is supposed to be in the low 50s, mid 50s by that time. And this air is very dry too. If we go and we look at the dew points, you'll see we're talking dew points here. Dew points in the single digits, and maybe even some below zero dew points. This air mass has its origins in the North Pole. If we actually went and we looked at the actual let's see if we can get this. Yeah, we can use this. That's fine. All right, this doesn't do dew points, but it should do temperatures. Let's see. Let's see if it does temperatures. Yes. All right, so you could see here, this air mass actually came straight from the North Pole. That's this area. It came straight down. So you could see the cold air going all the way down south, and I wanted to show you that. So let's get back into our area. So, again, we have this very dry air that is going to be over us tomorrow. Cold, dry air, which should mean mostly clear skies. All right? Dew points slowly rise up on Thursday, Friday, and then we have another outbreak of some really cold, dry air on Saturday. This could be this is coming directly from the north, so it'll be a quick shot, but it could be really cold too, and it's going to be windy too with that storm to the south. But luckily, this is able to push that storm to the south, and then you can clearly see that storm and the circulation of it there as it's passing by on Sunday and Monday. So what does this all mean for the skies? So let's take a look at the skies. And we go into tomorrow here, and you'll see mostly clear skies. Very low humidity, so probably not much in the way of cloudiness. Maybe a little more on eastern Long Island because of the, it's got to pass over the Long Island Sound maybe, and a little less over New Jersey. So we get that clear day tomorrow, and then the clouds rolling on us Thursday. Friday, we're going to be on the northern edge of those clouds, and the question is, what happens with this system to the south. Does it get suppressed enough that we can actually clear the skies out on Saturday, or will we be stuck in the cirrus while we got to look at the envy to our neighbors to the north with the clear skies? We'll have to see what happens with that. That is the weekend, and we will have to see what happens with that. And again, this is just one model, so we'll go shift over to the NAM now. We'll look at the other NAM model and see how it handles that storm as well. All right, we don't want to use the 0Z, so let's use the 18Z. So again, for tomorrow, you'll see the NAM shows clear skies for most everybody. It may be, like I said, maybe a little bit of cloudiness over Long Island, maybe. But it's going to be really cold. That's the key. And that wind chill is still going to be going too. So we're still going to be dealing with the wind chills. Obviously, the worst of it is tonight and tomorrow morning. So the clouds come back on Thursday, and then we're dealing with them again. So let's go and take this out a little bit to the 12 kilometer. I know we're not going to go very far with that. And again, I got to make this the 18Z. Probably not going to go very far as this coastal storm goes. You see, hopefully it gets suppressed to the south. It looks like it wants to suppress it to the south. So hopefully it does. Let's go and look at the windy.com and take a look at windy.com here and look at the European model. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is actually leave it on the winds so we can go over to Friday and look at that coastal storm again that's going to be forming. So it's going to be right over here. You can clearly see it. Friday, it starts getting going here. Clearly see it starting to gain strength. Here we are into Friday. And you can clearly see with this coastal storm getting Saturday. Now we're into Saturday. Look at this. The winds pick up. Now this is a coastal storm. It's probably not going to be tropical, but you never know. It could get some tropical characteristics. I mean, there could be some really strong winds over here. We're talking sustained winds of 42 miles an hour off the mid-Atlantic, southern mid-Atlantic, and even up in our area, 31 miles an hour. So again, because you got this strong high to the north and this low to the south, so it creates a big pressure gradient that creates this wind. And look at the winds pick up even more as we head later into Saturday, and we got sustained winds of 47 miles an hour. So this coastal storm is really going to ramp up, and we've got to be careful. We got to keep our eyes on this. Let's see, 11 p.m. Saturday. So it kind of just sits there because it's blocked by the high, so it can't move anywhere. So it's kind of just sitting there and lashing the coast to the Carolinas. This could cause some beach erosion and coastal flooding for sure. And again, these are sustained winds we're talking about. Let's look at Sunday on the Euro. Oh, look at this. So here we are at Sunday. Look at it. It almost looks like it's got an eye. You never know. This thing could start as an tropical storm and then become a tropical storm. You know, water temperatures are still warm in that area. I'm pretty sure that they're still over 80 in this area. It's crazy. Now, as we get closer to the weekend, we'll have a better idea of this. But you can see some of those strong winds are now getting close to our area. All right, so let's go and now move it into Monday, 3 a.m. And you can see it comes close, but it stays offshore. All right, so again, we're looking at the sustained winds. All right, if I go to wind gusts, that changes things quite a bit. And look at this thing now. So this is, again, Monday, 3 a.m. Look at the wind gusts offshore, 58 miles an hour. You could even have some pretty big, strong wind gusts on the east end, 39 miles an hour. So let's back this up again to Saturday, 4 a.m. All right. So you can see we got the wind gusts already up in the 50 mile an hour range over here, all right? And then we go into Saturday, 2 p.m., and look at this thing starting to really bomb out, you know. No, we don't want to share the forecast. That's not what we want to do. So 59 miles an hour. These are gusts, 67 miles an hour off the Cape Hatteras. I mean, you could have some hurricane force gusts from this storm. Let's go to 7 p.m. Look at this. And the wind field just keeps expanding. So here we are at 7 p.m. on Saturday. All right. And let's move it to 11 p.m. Wind gust 69. Let's go to 7 a.m. to 6 a.m. Monday. Look at these wind gusts. And look at the circulation around this. Oh, my God. 87. Holy cow. Wow, Euro looks like this thing could develop into some kind of tropical system. Look at it. 70 mile an hour. This is nuts. 79 mile an hour gusts. Wow, this is insane. This is Sunday, 5 p.m. Look at this. This is insane. And over our area, Long Island, we only have 37. So worst stays offshore, but again, the track could change. You never know with this thing. It's kind of reminiscent setup of Sandy in a way because you had this high here that's keeping it from going out to sea. And I mean, some of these wind gusts are just really impressive. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on this storm for sure. Obviously, it's a ways off, and but we're gonna have to keep an eye on it, and we'll have to see what happens. So we're gonna change this over to rain and see where the rain is. So it looks like it does bring some light rain into the area on Sunday, which would suck, or because we have no train service. But that's a whole nother story. Keeps the rain away for Saturday. So let's now go and look at the clouds and see if it keeps the clouds away from us. So for Saturday, it looks like it does keep the clouds away from us. This is 3 p.m. 6 p.m. does keep the clouds away from us. Then they start to roll in on us on Sunday. Friday, the clouds are just to the south of us. So we'll have to see what happens Friday if we can eke out a clear day. I'm thinking maybe with that push of colder air Saturday, hopefully it'll push these clouds and the storm a little further south. Hopefully it can. And we'll have to keep an eye on that. Now, as far as tomorrow goes, we'll take one more look at tomorrow, and we should have a nice clear day. It's going to be cold, but there's going to be plenty of sunshine. So I'm probably going to try to get to the Pine Barrens. There will probably not be a video, though. So if you're getting, the camera's acting up, and it doesn't like taking a video in this cold weather. Battery problems, but it's I don't get enough views on these other videos to really justify doing them. I'm sorry, as much as I would like. I gotta be honest with you, brutally honest. I want to produce less videos. All right, I gotta, it's just too much for me to handle. I need less stress. So anyway, that will conclude this weather update. So y'all have a great night. Stay warm, and thank you for watching.